Why has Madiba's family welcomed the withdrawal of a book revealing his last moments? Who gave VJ Ramlakan permission to write about Nelson Mandela's state of health? And why is Ramlakan being criticized for breaching doctor-patient confidentiality? And why is the family saying this is not the first apparent abuse of Madiba's name and legacy? What time is it? It's question time. Khotsong and welcome to the show. My name is Mpho Tsedu. The Mandela family has welcomed the withdrawal of a book that shared details of former President Nelson Mandela's last moments before he passed away. Ramlakan is a former Surgeon General and was the head of Madiba's medical team until his death in 2013. Meanwhile, the publisher's press statement says, and I quote, "Penguin Random House South Africa has decided to immediately withdraw the book Mandela's Last Years from the trade, and no further copies will be issued. The publisher has done so out of respect for the late Mr. Mandela's family," close quote. They also say they are not giving any further comment on the matter. We are live, and therefore you can call us and air your views. The numbers to dial 089-1104-210. If you're calling from outside the borders of South Africa, +27891104210, or tweet us your comments at QuestionTime24. My guest today, Dr. Khosi Letlape, is from the Health Professionals Council of South Africa. And on the line, we are joined by Chief Mr Mandela, who is a grandson of the late Nelson Mandela. Let me welcome you both to the show. Let me also welcome Chief Mr Mandela, who joins us on the line. Can you hear us, sir?
Yes, I can hear you very well, Paul. Good evening.
Thank you very much for joining us. Well, unfortunately, we were not able to secure the presence in studio of Dr. Ramlakan, but just give us a perspective of the family here, and I will give you an opportunity to just clarify the world, basically. Why were you opposed to this book?
I think basically the book, like many other books, has to have followed the proper procedures to engage with the Nelson Mandela Foundation as the custodians of Nelson Mandela's legacy as founded by him. They have failed to do so. And also the book is, according to us as a family, from what Mamnosizwe Antikrasa has looked at together with the entrusted men of Nkosi Dalpunga, such as George Bezos, Judge Museneke, as well as Judge Sangoni. They feel that the book is in breach of doctor-patient confidentiality. So Antikrasa then took the stand to condemn the book and request from the publishers to withdraw the book. Okay. We are highly grateful and appreciative that Penguin Publishers has adhered to the call of the family, as led by Mamnosizwe.
But now, Dr. Ramlakan says he had permission from some family members. Who are those?
If you read carefully and closely from the publishers, it is said one family member, not from family. Yeah. It says one family member. We are all as a family highly concerned as to whom is this family member that could take such a decision on behalf of the majority of the family, go ahead and authorize such a book to be written and published. Because I've said that in terms of Madiba's wife, Mamunosizwe, she clearly was not consulted on this process. And in terms of myself, I have no knowledge of this process. And I'm also alarmed that the Nelson Mandela Foundation, who has the full custody over the name of Nelson Mandela's legacy, has also not been consulted in terms of this book being published. It is in that regard that we all want to be taken into confidence by the publishers. In terms of transparency, they should make known who this family member is. As you may know very well, there are immediate family in terms of the line of Nkosi Dalpunga directly, but they are the greater Mandelas from his father, Nkosi Mphakanyiso.
Okay.
And it would be interesting to find out as to who is this person that supposedly gave this authorization.
Okay, just hold it there. Just stay on the line with us there. Dr. Elizabeth, let me also welcome you to the show. Obviously, there's now questions about, did Dr. Ramlakan breach any rules?
Good evening, Paul, and good evening to the listeners. We, as the Health Professions Council, have not received any complaint with respect to the matters that are being discussed. And our processes would require us that if a complaint has been received, that we follow our procedures of asking for an explanation from the practitioner involved in the matter.
Okay.
The practitioner would have 40 days in accordance with our statutes to furnish us with a reply. Once the reply has been received, the complaint and the explanation would be put in front of one of our preliminary committees of inquiry. We have 4 of them. They would then look at the matter and adjudicate on the matter.
Okay, so in this case, no complaint has been lodged as yet, right?
Yes.
Now,
and more importantly, because there's a possibility that these matters may still come to us as council, we will not comment in any way on the issues that have been put on the table.
Right.
Because it would prejudice ourselves in terms of doing our duty as a regulator.
But then, in an event or in an event of this nature, what would you then do if somebody was to write about details which in your profession you term patient, doctor confidentiality, right? If one was to write about such or disclose, not even write as such, but disclose, whether to one person or to many, what are the consequences?
Well, let's talk about the rules for the profession, what the ethical rules are. Confidentiality is a cornerstone of our profession. Because if that was breached, it would make it difficult for us to be seen as professionals or to be able to practice our profession. It is essential that patients know that they can trust their practitioners implicitly and wholly, and that what is said in that relationship, what comes out of that relationship, stays in that relationship. And that stays in life and in death. It is clearly prescribed by the National Health Act and by our ethical guidelines, where practitioners are guided under which conditions information can be disclosed.
Okay, hold it there. Let's take Romeo. Romeo, you're calling us from around Gauteng. Welcome.
How are you?
I'm well. Thanks for the call.
I'm fine. How are you?
Like I said, yeah. I'm well.
You know, my friend, I just want to ask something.
Yes.
Why black life nowadays is being treated like we are not normal human beings? When you see someone publishing something like that in a democratic space we have today.
But Romeo, what exactly are you against?
About this book I saw you are talking about.
So you have not read it. So what are you opposing?
I'm asking these people who write about these stories.
Yes.
If they have respect over like an icon like Nelson Mandela.
Okay. Romeo, we get your point. Let's check with, obviously, as a family, as a Mandela family, what are you mostly worried about? Are you worried about the details which the book, exposes of his state or health state? Or is it because it lays bare some of the things which I think as the public we have already come to accept, that there were a lot of differences between family members on, which way to go and all that, which is normal. Like in any other family, you would have your own differences. So what is mostly worrying there?
Let us be clear, Paul, that there are no worries that ought to be portrayed in terms of the family of Mandela. We are united around the issue of upholding Madiba's dignity. As a respected statesman, an African leader, and a global icon. All of us as a family, as well as South Africans, and I would speak also for Africans and the global community on this, in terms of preserving Madiba's legacy, we are united on that. And therefore, we have taken this position to ensure that we uphold Madiba's dignity, that even in his passing, he is not stripped that dignity by opportunists that want to cash in on his name. And therefore, the book is in bad taste in that it is disclosing what we believe to be doctor-patient confidentiality.
Okay, let's take Dr. Mabena. Dr. Mabena, welcome.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well, thanks for the call.
All right, yeah, we are speaking to Dr. Actually, I think Nelson Mandela is the father of the nations. As the nation, we have to know what his last word before he passed away. I think it was the right of their kids. As myself, I'm Mandela's kids. Each and everyone in South Africa is Mandela's kids. But at the end, there are people who want to show us what they want to show us, who want to show us what they don't want to show us. That is not good for us as the children of Mandela's.
Okay, now, Dr. Mabena, which doctor are you? Are you...
Yeah, that's my name.
Oh, you're just Dr. Mabena. Okay. No, I wanted to take you on professional matters. I'm sorry. Sorry about that, but we'll get the reply soon after the break. We're taking a quick break. When we return, we'll continue with this discussion. 089-110-4210 is the number to dial. Please don't go away.
The only way to pour the perfect beer, this professional barman would tell you, is into a glass tilted at exactly 45 degrees. Oh, bless you. Bless you, sir. Bless you again. Well, we'd say the perfect way to pour a beer is at this angle, straight into your mouth.
Get a 12-pack of Castle Lager 500ml cans for $104.99 from Tops at Spar.
Welcome back. You're still watching Question Time. Today, my guest, Dr. Khosi Hlape, he's from the Health Professions Council of South Africa, and Chief Mandela Mandela joins us on the line as well. But David, you are in Davidton.
Yes, thank you for accepting my call.
You're welcome.
My word now is this hunt down on people who say something about Madiba. Seemingly, Madiba was striving for freedom of speech. If you check this patient-doctor confidentiality, is something to do with prescription and sickness, which is not stated in the book. Now, I still believe we as the people can make or can destroy a dictator. Mandela, we are making him a dictator of which he was not. Thank you.
Okay. Well, let me get your views here. We'll go to Mandela in a short while. This doctor-patient confidentiality, he says it only refers to whether you must tell whether I died of flu or I came to see you because I have flu or whatever the other conditions, not necessarily circumstances around my life if you are treating me.
Everything that happens in that relationship stays in that relationship. So it's not just about the diagnosis. If you come to see me, Mpo, and I'm an eye surgeon, and you got eye problems, and you start talking about your social problems in that relationship, that was said in that relationship of trust. And I cannot go out and start talking about your social issues that you didn't talk about in a social situation. So that would still remain in that doctor-patient relationship. Because remember, health also goes to the mental state of the patient. So the fact that you might have a particular disease, but you have other issues that are of concern to you, it's still about your health. And anything you say in that relationship stays in that relationship. It's different from when I meet you at a tavern and we talk out there.
Or a shebeen.
Or a shebeen. That goes into my relationship with you, my character as a person, because I'm now interacting with you, not as your doctor. I'm interacting with you as your buddy or whatever. But when we interact in that relationship, it is sacrosanct. And what happens in there stays there. And it does not have to be only the things that are directly related to the diagnosis. Everything that is in that relationship stays in that relationship because it is said in the context of you being my patient and me being your doctor.
Now, is the Mandela family going to take the matter up? Well, the book has been withdrawn from shelves as it is. We don't know if it is available online or whatever the case is. But does the family intend to take the matter up? Yes.
Can you repeat that?
I was saying, do you as a family intend to take the matter up with Dr. Ramlakan or authorities to which he reports, given the fact that, well, the publishers have said the book is now withdrawn from the shelves, and like I was saying, we do not know whether it is available online or anything of that sort?
This is what I actually wanted to respond to, Mpo, that firstly, the main call was to the publishers to withdraw this book. And we emphasize and want to repeat this as a family that we applaud Penguin Publishers for having been decisive around this matter and withdrawn the book. Now, what remains for the family are two matters. The first is to find out this allegation that has been made that a family member authorized the publication of this book. But secondly, Madiba left his own entrusted men, George Bezos, Judge Museneke, as well as Judge Fango, who are now looking at the legalities of this. We are appreciative that in terms of the Health Act, we need to look at what has been violated in that. Should there be issues of substance that we feel have grossly compromised Nkosi Dalpo, then Madiba's entrusted men will take the necessary steps to engage with Dr. Ramlakan on this matter. But as you've seen from the Nelson Mandela Foundation and attributed to Sello Hatang, he has said that there are things in the book that directly speak to issues of doctor-patient confidentiality and what Madiba experienced in terms of his services rendered to him by an entrusted man like Dr. Ramlakan, who has compromised that in publishing this book.
Okay. On Twitter, well, some people are saying the book would have let us know Mandela as a normal human being. I think it should be published. Your response there?
I believe on us, we are taking issue on the matters that have to do directly with doctor-patient confidentiality. And I want to emphasize this point because we're going to leave this to the legal minds to explore as a family.
Okay.
Mam Grasa has ensured that she sought legal advice and she was taken into confidence to call on the publishers to withdraw the book. They have done so in this instance, and we are highly grateful for that. But we now need to let them explore the legalities of it. And as it is said in terms of the Health Act, they will explore those issues. Should there be a need for the family or for Mam Grasa to make an application in terms of now dealing with these issues from the necessary institutions, we shall do so. So,
you as Manza Mandela did not know that there was this book being written, or you were not consulted as an individual?
I did not know of the book and have never been consulted on the book. I, like many South Africans, woke up to the realization that there has been a book published. And of interest, I then looked to what are the merits of this book, and I was highly offended to find that details of my grandfather's treatment from an entrusted doctor like Dr. Ramlakan were exposed. And in that, we take issue with as a family.
Okay.
And I must say, on my own instance, I don't want to speak for anyone else, and I think other family members will make their own contributions to this. Like my sister Ndilega has also been highly offended on this.
Okay.
But members are free to speak on themselves. And I want to also reiterate that we, as the Mandela family, are united on this, that this book, we find it to be highly offensive to Madiba's dignity.
Perhaps finally, before I let you go, any plans to open the gravesite where the old man rests to the public?
I think that is a matter that is still within the family, and there are continuous discussions in and around that. in due time, when there's consensus on the matter, the necessary decisions will be undertaken and the public will be notified.
Thank you very, very much, Chief Mandela Mandela, for joining us from Mvezote. But Dr. Tlap, perhaps your closing remarks, your message as authority of the learned colleagues.
Well, my message to the public and to the registered practitioners would be that we're going to continue upholding our oath, the Hippocratic Oath, and the issue of confidentiality is sacrosanct in the profession. And just to enlighten the public and remind the profession that there are strict conditions under which disclosure can be made, and those conditions are if there's a statutory provision that requires you to disclose, if there's an order from a court of law, if it is in the public interest. And by public interest, it means if by not divulging the information, the public's health would be at risk, like in the case of Ebola, etc. Otherwise, you need the express consent of the patient. If the patient is under 12, it's the express consent of the parent or guardian. And if the patient is deceased, the express consent of the next of kin or the executor of the estate.
Thank you very much. It sounds a little complicated, but we hope we'll understand it. But for now, the book is off the shelves. That was question time for today. A big thank you to my guest and you for watching the show. From me and the crew, you have yourself a wonderful time. Iber Hot.